There are so many options on Amazon these days, but can you find a good tattoo machine on Amazon? Over the last 2 years, I've collected over a dozen different tattoo machines and tried them out. And I'm going to go over my 4 top favorite machines from Amazon. I've whittled it down to these 4 options right here. We're going to go over the pros and cons of each. And we're going to find out right here, right now, if you can find the right machine for you on Amazon. Okay guys, before we start today and I go over each of these awesome machines I've found for you on Amazon, don't forget, if you want to buy any of these machines, please use the link in the description below so that you can support our channel. Thank you so much. First off on our list is the Rhein tattoo machine. It actually comes in a kit. For as low as $55, you can get a whole kit, including a foot switch and a power supply. So it made my top 4 because of how many things you get with it, and it performs well, which I'll show you. I should also mention that the Rhein tattoo pen is a 3.2 millimeter stroke length, and it runs from 7 to 11 volts. Next up on my list, I have the Finemie Hidden. At $179.99, it doesn't cost too much. It won't break the bank. And it has a 4 millimeter stroke length, which makes it a little more unique. It comes in a variety of colors. It has a great display. It's wireless, but it can be wired as well, which I think is a great feature. The Finemie Hidden operates between 4 and 12 volts. The battery is 1800 milliamps, and it can run for up to 8 hours, although that's probably at the lower settings. I would guess you probably get about 4 to 7 hours of runtime with the Finemie Hidden at that milliamps. The Finemie does only come with one battery, but it only takes an hour and a half to charge, which is also cool. That's pretty much all I got for the Finemie Hidden. Let's go on to the next one. Coming in at $228, next up on my list is the Bronc V2. It is a wireless tattoo machine that also can be corded. It's one of the heavier machines I've chosen in my top 4, which I think is great for stability and lining and can really pack a punch for those larger needle groupings and traditional style work. Another feature that it has is the jump start feature, which makes it even better for running those larger needle groupings. The jump start feature basically just ramps it up to 9 volts. That way, if you're using a larger needle grouping cartridge in a lower voltage below 9 volts, it will give it that little extra punch to get the needles moving. The Bronc V2 is a 3.5 millimeter stroke length. It has a 2000 milliamp battery, and it gets about 7 to 9 hours of work time. And one of the nicest things is it comes with 2 replaceable batteries that have about a 2 to 3 hour charge. So that's awesome. Last up on my list is the Bronc Staves. It is the most expensive, coming at $318, which is still very affordable for a tattoo machine. It is wireless, and you can wire it just like the other 2 wireless machines here. The Bronc Staves is one of the cooler looking machines. It does have a very sci-fi appearance to it with these engravings on the side. It is still a good weighted machine, however, it is not as heavy as the V2, so it may not pack as much of a punch. However, it is very ergonomic, it tapers at the tip, it's comfortable. I think it'd be great as a shader or a liner, honestly, but maybe a little more as a shader. The Bronc Staves is very unique as it has a touch screen, and the other ones I have here do not, so I should mention that as well. So there we are, just a touch screen, no tactile feedback. So that is something to know about the Staves as well. The Bronc Staves has a 3.5 millimeter stroke length. It has a 5 to 12 volt operating range, and it has an 1800 milliamp battery. With that battery charge, you'll get about 4 to 7 hours of tattoo time, and the charging time is about 2 to 3 hours. And it only does come with one battery. That is a brief description of all of these machines. Now it's time to try them on some silicone. Okay guys, for our silicone test today, we'll be using the Easy Tattoo Revolution 2.0 cartridges. They are biodegradable, and you can find a link in the description below. We'll be using the 7-round liner, the 11-round shader, and the 15 curve mag. Okay, so the Rhein tattoo wired machine is $55, remember, so it is the least expensive on our list. We're just going to go from least expensive to most expensive in this test. And we're going to start with the liner. Go with the 7-round liner. So the cartridge fits in there beautifully. We have our power supply off camera here to the left. It has a nice clicky needle depth control, really heavy materials here, not cheap materials at all. And remember, you get the whole kit for $55 as well, not just the machine. There, we got a 7-round liner here. Let's just pull a few lines with the Rhein machine. We are at 7 volts, and we're working on real skin today. That's REEL. So the feeling as I'm passing through the silicone is great. I don't get a bunch of resistance from the needle. I feel like the 7-round liner is cutting through the silicone just fine at 7 volts with this Rhein tattoo machine. So the lines look nice and saturated at 7 volts. A little higher now, moving a little faster. Not bad for a $55 machine. Not too bad. Very nice saturated lines, easy to pull. I was able to work at a pace where my hand didn't feel like it was too shaky, and I could cut through the silicone well. Very good liner. Let's give it a little more challenge and pop on that 11-round shader. All right, I'm gonna pop on this 11-round shader. Bah! Pops on great. There it goes. Nice 11-round shader. Sounds like it started right up with this nice power supply here. It's a little bigger than the 7, but let's keep it at the same voltage for now. So at 7.5 volts on the Rhein here. Let's see. We can push this. Round shader in there like a liner. Seems to be getting in there just fine. I'm gonna amp it up just a little bit to 7.8 volts. Right, there we go. It's looking good. It's important to be passionate about everything you do, even straight lines, random lines. You can edit that out. It's looking good. It's getting in there. Play around here a little. I'm gonna go faster. Beautiful. So very impressive for $55. This machine is performing very well. Little black packing with the round shader. Yep, one pass, nice and black, super saturated. Very nice. Okay, we have this 15 curve mag up next. And we're at 5.5 volts. Let's go do some packing here. Okay, as you can see, the Rhein passed the test of lining, shading, packing with smaller liners, a larger round shader, and a mag. So we did really well. Good job, Rhein. 55 bucks, no big deal. Might want to pick one up. Okay, let's attach the 7 round liner to the Finemie, which is $179.99. Follow the link in the description below. So it started up the 7 round liner at 5 volts, just fine. Go to a 6.5. Nice needle depth control. Nice size machine, bigger than this Rhein, definitely more comfortable. just gonna go up a little water resistance. So cutting through like butter at 6.8 volts. At a nice steady speed here. Let's clean it up and see how the liner did. The Finemie has a slightly higher operating voltage, so here they are, nice, crisp, bold lines. I was able to get those around 7 volts, so that is awesome. The Finemie definitely passed the 7-round liner test. Okay, let's get this 11-round shader going on the Finemie. Start it up, no problem, in 7 volts. Let's increase that a bit. This higher needle grouping to 8 volts. Let's actually go down to 7.8 just to see what it can do. Oh, okay. Wow. Might be able to go even lower. Woo! It's got some power to this thing. I'm remembering why it's in my top 4. Let's slow her down, do a little packing. Round shader, no problem. Moving on to the mag. Starting up the Finemie Hidden with the 15 curve mag. Sounds awesome. And then 6.5 volts. Bring it down a little bit. Let's see how it does at 5 volts. 5.2 maybe. There we go, nice. I'm having fun with this little thing. All right, definitely passed the test, but let's make sure to wipe it. Feels amazing. And it's looking good. Nice solid black. We passed the mag test. All right, the Bronc V2, here we come. Here's the Bronc V2. It is definitely heavier. Let's put on the 7-round liner. It's a nice fit there. You can tell these cartridges really do work on every machine here. I'm going to reduce this down here so you can see the boost mode. So we are in 5 volts. You ready to hear the magic boost mode? There it is. So in 5 volts, it ramped it up to 9 volts and started up this 7-round liner, no problem. Needle depth is a nice smooth control, no clicking. It's not loose though, it's nice and sturdy. It's a well-made machine. And I'm gonna go higher for lining here. I'm gonna go to a 7 to try out this liner. Impressive at a 7. It does have a higher operating voltage range. I'm going to go to 7.5 here. Actually, it did fine in both a 7 and a 7.5 volts, so it is a nice strong machine. I did hear the ramp up in the 7.5 too. There it is. But I'm going back down to a 7. I actually prefer lining between a 6 and a 7, depending on the machine. Flower. It's cutting beautifully through the silicone. It's a nice sturdy machine. Okay, so definitely a nice stable liner, the V2. Its weight helps me keep my lines super straight and they look very saturated. What I will say is it is pretty heavy. I forgot how much heavier it is than some of the other machines, and it's not quite as weighted at the tip as the other ones, but it does have that nice weight. If you're looking for a heavier machine, that lines really well. So all in all, it passed the lining test. Awesome. Good job, V2. Okay, let's start up this 11-round shader on the V2. Okay, I'm at a 7.5 volts. So again, the Bronc V2 is shining in its lining. It started up this 11-round shader, no problem, and I feel like my line is super steady. Okay, last up we have the mag. Started up just fine at 6.5 volts. All right, I'm at 6 volts. Just gonna do a little packing here. Okay, let's ramp it up a little bit to a 7 volt. Back down, do a little more shading. All right, it looks really good. I feel like the Bronc V2 is shining in all categories and it works great with the mag. It's especially saturated and I felt like I had especially good control of it doing this calligraphy stuff here. So really excited about the V2, but it might be a little heavy for some people, but don't worry. We got one more coming for you. We have the Bronc Staves. Okay, let's get this 7 round liner on the Staves. Nice fit there. We have a clicky needle depth control. And again, our touch screen, easy to clean touch screen. There it is. This one also has a boost mode. Yeah, at a 6.9 volts, which actually feels pretty strong. I'm gonna try lining at a 6 volt first. The Staves is definitely more comfortable. I feel like it's more ergonomic than the V2, but it is not as heavy. So we might have to go nice and slow for this first line at 6 volts. And then let's try a little faster. Seven. Come down a little bit. Okay, and let's try the flower. Okay, so very saturated, very nice lines on the Bronc Staves here, 7 round liner. Definitely has nice, steady, straight lines. I feel like the weight difference between the V2 and the Staves isn't so much so that you lose the stability of the lining. I do feel like the Staves has great stability for lining as well. Okay, let's see what the Staves can do with the 11 round shader. Let's give it a chance to get that in there at 7 volts. Okay. So definitely smooth and stable. It's moving the 11 round shader with ease. through the silicone. I think I could go a little faster. The only difference is I feel my hand working just a bit harder due to the lighter weight grip. But I feel like it's a little easier on your hand over time. So if you're trying to go for just one machine, I'd probably go for the Staves. But getting them both isn't a bad idea either. So they both work really well. Even down here at a 5.2 volt, I'm able to pack in the color. By color, I mean black ink. Beautiful. So far, I feel like the Staves is equal in its performance to the V2, so no problem lining. And last up here, we have the mag. At 5.3 volts, I'm just gonna see how it does with some black packing with the mag. Let's do some shading. I'm going to go up a little here. And once again, Staves passed the test of the mag. Looking good. I'm very impressed with this thing. All right, let's zoom out here. Okay guys, as you can see, I've led you down the right path. All of these 4 machines pass the silicone test. They all work great. If you're on a budget, I recommend the Finemie Hidden. Out of these 4 at that price range, I really feel like you get a lot for your money. To help you guys out, you can also get a 10% discount. Just follow a link in the description below. But if you can afford it, I do recommend the Bronc Staves. At $318, you still get so much for your money. It does line just as well as the V2. As I've shown you here during the silicone test, it lines beautifully, and I feel like it'll be a little less stress on your hand over time. It also has that great touchscreen display and very cool exterior. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Don't forget, if you want to get anything on this video, you'll find it in a link in the description below. And please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more here on the Floaty Channel.